walked out with that in your hand.
What?
I wouldn't have walked out with that in your hand either.
Yes, I didn't.
And where?
My corks, I don't want to get it wet.
I'll get us a folder from work so we can use it for the house, yeah.
You see more.
Huh?
Seagull.
Put the worktop on really, but it was cold.
Step out into the road without looking. Great, Dad.
Suggested we played I'm Lucky, Joan Alma Trading's track from Walk on the Ladders on A&M Records in 1981. Okay, premium bonus, also ads. And then we're going to be playing you a track from an album which started an 11-week run at #1 this week in the year 2000. It's from the Beatles. They had a compilation album called One, which was all their #1 records from around the world. It was a very, very big seller, as you can imagine. And there's loads of Beatles on Greatest Hits Radio, but we'll tell you more about that in a bit. But we're heading towards yesterday after this.
Greatest Hits Radio. It was the night before Christmas, and the air felt quite sad. Children snug in their beds, but not mum and dad, knowing their kids will hide their disappointed faces, because where there ought to be presents, there are just empty spaces.
Help Santa make Christmas different for children living in poverty. Greatest Hits Radio's Cash for Kids Mission Christmas.
All you need to do is buy a new on-ramp gift and take it to one of our drop-off points, which you'll find all over.
Or donate at greatesthitsradio.co.uk. Help us make sure every child wakes up to a present this Christmas.
There once was a woman who lived in a shoe, and she knew just what to do. She went on Amazon and ordered 35 tins of shoe polish, of course. Oh, the shoe polish. And now there's something else she can get from Amazon. Home insurance. She can shop insurance from a selection of trusted providers and pay for her policy securely without leaving the site. Anyway, time to give the house a bit of polish. Shop home insurance like you shop Amazon or the Amazon Insurance Store. Amazon EU SAL is an insurance intermediary authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. A car designer cares about every detail, which should be matched by how a retailer selects and prepares every car.
Fine, everything's sortable. It's just
Land
going to take a
Rover
few days,
chooses
that's
Virtue
all.
Motors as an official retailer across the Northwest, and it's why no one knows more than us about the latest Land Rover models you can upgrade to this season, including many available with offers as impressive as the vehicles themselves. Search Virtue Land Rover to
Something's
see our
going on
full
up there, 'cause that's the
range.
second one that's
Visit
gone
us
past.
in Bolton and Nelson. Virtue Land Rover. It's all in the detail. Oh no! What number am I supposed to call? If you have issues with your gas supply this winter, make the right call. First time, every time. Gas meter problems? Call your gas supplier on the number at the top of your energy bill. Appliance or boiler troubles? To find a qualified gas engineer, contact Gas Safe Register. Smell gas or suspect a leak? Call the Gas Emergency Service on 0800 111 999 immediately. Make the right call, first time, and get your problem solved faster.
This is Greatest Hits Radio across Manchester and
remember when I went with Viv and Jill? I don't know if it was last year. Was it
Yeah.
last year? Went to Bardsey.
Yeah.
Well, it's the town that's nearest to there. It's Low District. It's the South Lakes, not the North Lakes where they are. I'll show you it online. It's Laurel and Hardy Museum there.
Yeah.
It's where Stan Laurel's from.
Very nice.
Huh?
Yeah, good to know.
And there's a Dickensian Christmas weekend on.
Yeah.
So I booked a, it's like an old brewery, like an apartment there.
Yeah.
Viv, Jill and Mum.
Fuck's sake.
That was ridiculous.
I know.
So we're going to go, because Viv and Jill are working on the Friday, so we've only got to book the Friday, Saturday night.
Yeah.
So I'll go to my mum's on Thursday. We'll get a train there on the Friday,
Greatest hits
so we can get there during the day.
Yeah.
Mayo, the album show. The good
And then
times sound.
probably go and get some food or something so we can eat in the night.
Yeah.
Another day in August on the Saturday. We can do some Saturday night maybe.
Yeah.
Or even really up apartment, it doesn't matter. And then back on the Sunday. They'll
Yeah.
drive back, take my mum back, and I'll get a train back.
Ziggy plays guitar. Jamming good if we had a Spiders from Mars. He played in
It's nice there.
Yeah.
It's like to get in the train, you go. I'll probably go from Bolton rather than Manchester.
Yeah.
And then you go to, I think it's Lancaster and change there. Then it goes like all on Morecambe Bay, like Grange over Sands. It goes Carnforth, which is Yorkshire, where Brecon County was. And then Grange over Sands and places like that. It's not bad. But they all know it, so it's like, we'll be alright.
Yeah. Rack up playing it.
I'll show you the place where we're staying.
Yeah.
I think we've got the smaller one, but the other one's got a wood-fired hot tub.
Yeah.
It's basically a tin bath. It looks nice. It's probably smaller than theirs, but I would say Ulverston.
Yeah.
There's that kind of feel to it. Like if you go there at night, there'll just be a few pubs.
Yeah.
They're just mostly pubs to eat in. But there's things like a co-op and stuff, so you can get food.
Don't fucking let much traffic through that lights, do they? This weather's grim.
I just wanted to do something because, like, you know, they've sort of played last
The
time and
album
gone
show
away
on
anywhere.
Greatest Hits Radio playing Ziggy Stardust from the
Jason
rise and fall of
Frivolous.
Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars from 1972. And before that, from the Beatles' One album, which came out in 2000, was at number one for 11 weeks yesterday. A suitable moment just to remind you that when we're done at 4, I'm still hanging around for another hour because it's part 2 of Beatles' Legacy Red and Blue. Last week was all about the Red album. Now it's all about the Blue album. Loads of fantastic stories and incredible music.
A lot of traffic for a
This
Sunday.
afternoon from 4 on Greatest Hits Radio.
I'm just go shopping, won't they?
Simon Mayo. Chasing classic vinyl.
Yes, we're going to chase some classic vinyl in the company, as ever, of everyone's favourite collector. That is Pat Gilbert. Hello, Pat. Good afternoon. An email from Charlie.
Just because you sing it doesn't mean you actually
years ago, in the lead up to the 50th anniversary of the recording of Happy Christmas, War Is Over by John Lennon and the Plasticono Band, Sean Lennon and Yoko arranged for 50 acetate copies to be hand-cut on the original lathe at Abbey Road Studios. These records were sent to music charities across the UK for them to raise funds. Knowing I'm a fan of John Lennon and the Beatles, my wife, Michelle, my belle, purchased a £50 ticket in a draw to win one. The results of the draw were broadcast by Sean Lennon on Christmas Eve, and Michelle's name was read out. So my question for Pat, what is an acetate, and can it be played, and is this valuable?
Yes, I say so. Well, as Charlie says, in December 2021, Yoko Ono and Sean Lennon arranged for 50 acetate records of Happy Christmas, War Is Over to be made. The idea being to spread Christmas cheer on the 50th anniversary of the single's original release that came out in 1971. So, indeed, 25 copies were given to UK charities to auction. 25 were given to record shops to raise money for local charities, which maybe this is where Michelle and Charlie got their copy. Now, an acetate is a record cut, especially on a
I'm not one of them anymore.
rather than
Learn to drive on a lesson.
And yes, Charlie, you can play
That's right, instructors actually work on the Sunday.
You don't. Please don't touch it.
Because it can only be played a certain number of times. Do you damage it if you play it?
Yes, I think probably about 10 times you can play them before they start to deteriorate.
On my motorbike, this actual stretch of road was actually quite stressful because people pulling out and stuff.
But here, what he's got is something
It's not so bad
very,
in the
very
car.
special.
So, if my understanding is correct, that they've got one of these things,
Well, I can fucking
they
close
don't know
ears
whether they
behind
can
me.
play it. So you're saying, okay, fine, that's what it is, and no, don't play it. And the final bit of the question was, is this a valuable item? To which you say,
Well, I'd say if they didn't play it and it was in pristine condition, one sold at auction for £6,100. At the end of the scale, one sold for £1,600. I think Charlie's copy at the moment would sell for between £2,000 and £3,000.
okay, so, I mean, so the Beatles are still collectible, and also particularly, obviously, very limited editions like this, especially so.
Absolutely, yeah. I think this is one that people will be looking after for many, many years to come.
So, Charlie, the message is, it's valuable, look after it, don't play it, and there's a kind of a rough guide as to what it might be worth. I wish you all the best with that. So, what is our one to watch, Pat? Tell us what's something that we should be looking out for in case we've got it in our collection.
Okay, this week it's Kate Bush, who is quite a big artist, actually, when it comes to record collecting. So in 1993, the first single from her then new album, The Red Shoes, was going to be the track Eat the Music, which had a Caribbean flavour and very catchy. But at the very last minute, Kate changed her mind, and no one's quite sure why. But she went for Rubber Band Girl.
Still quite surreal actually driving though. After so long of not.
The music had already been made in a picture sleeve, and Kate's orders, they all destroyed, well, a handful, or maybe even 2 handfuls.
I see. Okay, so I suspect someone knew what they were doing here. So if I have Eat the Music as a 7-inch in a picture sleeve, what are you talking to me about?
£2,000 at least.
Very good, very good. Okay, so we're going to play our cheap WAV file, but it sounds exactly the same as the 7-inch. So a 7-inch of Eat the Music from the Red Shoes, picture sleeve, £2,000 at least. Thank you very much indeed. We'll play the Kate
Shit
Bush.
it there,
Pat, thank you very much. We'll talk next week.
You're welcome, I'll see you then.
this is where it come off.
Really?
Yeah, where that white car is, the guy slammed his brakes on and I went straight down to slam mine on.
Ow.
Yeah.
Did you tell me about that?
No.
I didn't think you had.
I might have done actually. I think you were at your mum's. That house in Norden that I was telling you about is over in that direction.
Yeah.
Because we're approaching Bamford now, which is where it's in that direction or that direction. One of the two. Oh, fucking temporary road works. Fuck's sake. So no, not to come back this way then. Usually don't come back this way anyway, I've got to do the way coming back. Show you where the instructor got me to do a hill start, and I started rolling back, so we had to come round and do it again. These traffic lights here coming from the right hand side. Just have a look how steep the hill is. This junction here.
Yeah, cool.
People saying just because it's a 40 zone, people have got to do 40. It's like it's pissing down rain, there's puddles everywhere. Just fucking drive sensibly. All it takes is to hit one of them puddles really fast and your lack of lane and spin.
Kate decided that she didn't want that to be the lead single from the Red Shoes. This cracky song, Eat the Music, if you got it on 7-inch with a picture sleeve, couple of grand, that'd be nice. If there's something in your collection you think might be worth something, but you're not sure, tell us about it. Simon at greatesthitsradio.co.uk. Okay, we're heading towards the news, and then out of the news, you've got a cracking track from an album that came out this week in 1980. In fact, it was America's biggest selling album. We're heading there after this.
Greatest Hits Radio.
Live in concert, celebrating 6 decades in show business.
This is my longest drive without a supervisor with me.
Coming to Manchester Arena.
Since I passed
Wednesday the 29th
right.
of November.
It's like I've never stopped driving, to be honest now. I mean, I've still got to smooth out the gear change from first, second to third, but that'll come.
Radio. Oh no, what number am I supposed to call? If you have issues with your gas supply this winter, make the right call. First time, every time. Gas meter problems? Call your gas supplier on the number at the top of your energy bill. Appliance or boiler troubles? To find a qualified gas engineer, contact Gas Safe Register. Smell gas or suspect a leak? Call the Gas Emergency Service on 0800 111 999 immediately. Make the right call, first time, and get your problem solved faster.
That's quite big, really.
Once was a woman who lived in a shoe, and she knew
Extends
just
all the way
what
to
to
top,
do.
top
She
man,
went
you
on
know.
Amazon and ordered 35 tins of shoe polish, of course.
Top man comes on the rocks
And
now.
now there's something else she can get from Amazon: home insurance. She can shop insurance from a selection of trusted providers and pay for her policy securely without leaving the site. Anyway, time to get the house look polish. Shop home insurance like you shop Amazon on the Amazon Insurance Store. Amazon EU SAL is an insurance intermediary authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. A car designer cares about every detail, which should be matched by how a retailer selects and prepares every car. That's why Rover chooses Virtue Motors as an official retailer across the Northwest. And it's why
This is where
no
the
one
accident
knows more
happened
than
with that
us about
Porsche
the
that was
latest
doing
Land Rover models you
40
can
mile an hour
upgrade
down
to this
here.
season,
Mm.
including
Took someone
many
out,
available
took a
with
clean
offers
out.
as impressive as the vehicles themselves. Search Virtue Land Rover, our full range, or visit us in Bolton and Nelson. Virtue Land Rover. It's all in the detail.
Turbocharge your gaming and reduce lag with EE Game Mode. Boost your broadband, even when everyone's online. Search EE Game. EE Game Mode requires EE Smart Hub Plus. On your radio, on your mobile, on your smart speaker, and ad break free on Greatest Hits Radio Premium.
Across Manchester and the Northwest.
This is Greatest Hits Radio.
The top stories this hour. The Chancellor says everything is on the table ahead of his autumn statements.
We believe lower taxes are essential for a high-growth economy. So we do want to bring down the tax burden, but we will only do so responsibly.
Jeremy Hunt's comments have
Jeremy
increased
Hunt.
speculation
Yes,
on
your
Hunt's
Chancellor's a
inheritance
con.
tax on Wednesday.
Yeah, your
But
Chancellor's a
Labour
con.
reckons doing that during a cost of living crisis would be wrong. The Shadow Chief Secretary to the Treasury, Darren Jones, has been telling us his party's own plans for the economy.
We would help people insulate their homes so that they can become more energy efficient. That means that you use less. We're also going to build cheaper, cleaner power across the country through the creation of Great British Energy.
Well, the government's already revealed it's met its pledge to halve the rate of inflation early. In other news, British Jewish community groups are holding a series of events calling for a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. A remembrance parade and ceremony is just getting underway at the Senate Half in central London. And in Gaza, officials say 31 babies have been evacuated from the territory's biggest hospital, Al-Shifa. A murder investigation is underway in Hailsham in East Sussex after a man died in a suspected hit and run. The 24-year-old was struck by a car last night. Police are searching for a suspect and their vehicle. A man's continuing to be questioned on suspicion of attempted murder in Jersey. A woman was critically injured in a stabbing at a supermarket in the island's capital, St Helier, yesterday. A trial will see drones used as first responders to police emergencies. Tests are going to take place in Norfolk next year, and it's emerged Hampshire and Thames Valley Police will give the tech a try themselves. And ITV have announced the Duchess of York will be co-hosting this morning. Sarah Ferguson will join presenters Alison Hammond and Dermot O'Leary tomorrow. Broadcasters continuing to look for a replacement for Holly Willoughby.
Weather.
Listen back to your favourite shows whenever you like when you download the Greatest Hits Radio app.
Rain continuing for much of the UK through the rest of the day with further showers overnight. That's the latest. I'm Johnny Freeman.
The Album Show.
Thank you. In side 2 of your album show begins with an album that was released this week in 1980.
While since you've been down this neck of the woods, isn't it?
I can't remember the last time we came. When did I last come up here?
A while ago now.
Bestseller of 1981 came out this week in 1980. Take It on the Run, REO Speedwagon, and the album High Infidelity. Your requests every week. Simon at greatesthitsradio.co.uk. Sandra Cunningham, it's your choice next. Good afternoon, Sandra. Simon, I loved hearing the George Harrison track on the Chasing Vinyl spot the other week. Any chance you could play Blow Away from the album that is just called George Harrison? I think it's one of his best solo songs, and it's years since I heard it on the radio. That's what this feature is for, Sandra. This is for you.
Phil. You don't know how to pronounce it, don't I? Phil.
Radio, Simon Mayo, The Album Show, The Good Times Sad Like This.
I'll be alright, Em.
Yeah.
Not like anyone else, then.
No.
Make sure I don't get the air wet. It's a bit of frizzy. I can get away without washing it then.